Let me tell you the truth that most men don't want to hear. If you think you need to cut out carbs, destroy yourself with extreme workouts, hop on TRT or steroids just to get in the best shape of your life, you've been lied to, and it's not your fault. Because for years, I believed the same thing. I thought the only way to get lean was to suffer, to obsess. And the only way to look great long term was to eventually enhance. So I tried it all. Low carbs, tracking every single macro, killing myself in the gym, always feeling one bad meal away from starting over. And guess what? I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel confident. I definitely didn't feel free. Here's the lie no one talks about: that getting into shape has to be extreme, that health means restriction, that sustainability is boring, and that your best years are behind you once you hit your 30s. That is complete bullshit. I've been training naturally for over a decade, and what I've learned is this: men don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're following systems that were never meant for them. You don't need less food, you need better food. You don't need more workouts, you need smarter training. You don't need hormones, you need alignment. Alignment between your training, your nutrition, your lifestyle, and who you're becoming as a man. Your best physique doesn't come from punishment. It comes from structure, consistency, and an identity shift. When fitness stops being something you do and becomes something you are, everything changes. Energy goes up, stress goes down, your body responds again, and progress becomes automatic. And in this video, you're gonna learn why. I'm gonna talk about a step-by-step framework that you can implement to get into the best shape of your life and stay in that shape forever, not just for the short term. 5 different pillars that must be aligned. And this is what I have learned over 10 plus years of trial and error. Earlier this year, I competed in my first natural bodybuilding show. And along the way, I lost over 25, 30 pounds of fat. And it allowed me to gain clarity on the man that I am truly becoming. I have a almost 4-month-old daughter. And that's what really kicked me in the gear too, was my wife was pregnant. I really wanted to get in shape, and that might be you too, whether you have a newborn or your wife is pregnant or you have a couple kids and you're like, man, I want to be in shape for them. I want to be around for them. That's really what this is about. Okay. It's not about this physical transformation, but along the way, I think it gives you this confidence, this energy that you're just like, you're on fire. Okay. You're on fire and you're showing up for your family. When you're in shape, you have this energy that you've created through your diet, through your training. You just show up and you're just like ready to go. And I want to share this message to others because it was so impactful to me. For years, I was spinning my wheels. I would follow all these short-term diet trends like carnivore, keto, fasting, if it fits your macros diet. And I was thinking way too short-term. I know it's a little wild because you see a big transformation in such a quick time, but funny enough, I've been able to stay in shape after the competition. Now here we are in 2026. I competed in April of 2025, and I am still in a physical condition that I'm happy with. But along the way, I also transformed the mental and spiritual side as well. That was the missing piece for me for the longest time. And the spiritual side as well, too. I really was able to deepen my connection with Creator, with God, with Source, and really tap into this potential that I neglected for way too long. The number one thing, obviously that must be aligned is your diet, right? And it's your nutrition, and it's what you're eating. That's going to be the biggest lever that you're going to be able to pull when it comes to getting into shape. Now, more than likely, most of you watching this video are holding on to maybe some excess body fat that you want to get rid of. A lot of people are actually carrying more body fat than they think. Like if you see in this picture on the screen here, I was sitting around 200 pounds, okay? And at the surface, you're like, okay, he could probably lose like 10, 15 pounds. But more realistically, I needed to lose more like 20 to 30 pounds to really get those abs popping, those veins showing. So that's kind of the biggest thing is, you might have to lose a little bit more fat than you might think. So setting realistic expectations is key. But when it comes to the diet, obviously we want to be in a calorie deficit in the diet. You already know this. You already know that in order to lose body fat, you must be in a calorie deficit. You must be eating less than your body burns on a daily basis. Okay, that is like a universal truth. And there's so many different ways to hit the calorie deficit. What I have discovered from this whole process of myself, over the last 10 years of training and more recently really dialing in the nutrition is 90 to 95% of your food intake, it has to be whole foods. Okay. Some of the benefits of this is you're just going to feel better. Okay. Your body starts to burn clean energy. And funny enough, when you eat whole foods, you actually feel more full, because when it comes to dieting, and if you've dieted in the past, eventually you're going to be hungry. So whole foods fill you up better. And over time, they help reset your taste buds as well. So you're no longer going to be wanting those sugary, late night cinnamon toast crunch, maybe those brownies or cookies that are sitting out at work. You pass up on, someone brings in donuts for a training and you pass on them because you just know that they don't make you feel good, especially if you start to eat the right way. Some of those foods will no longer sound good to you. Your body is going to start to crave these whole foods. So when I talk about whole foods, we're really talking about foods that come from Earth. So when it comes to protein sources, animal proteins are going to be your go-to. The best way to optimize your hormones, in my opinion, is from beef. Beef is incredibly nutrient dense. It's packed with vitamins and nutrients. You can look it up yourself and see the laundry list of nutrients that are fully in there. And beef digests on the relatively slower end in your body as well. So beef actually helps you feel full. And then eggs are another just nature superfood. I think those two protein sources should be the foundation of most diets. They really help to optimize hormones. Like eggs and beef have been a game changer for me. But then you can also add in some Greek yogurt. You can add in some egg whites if you want. There's nothing wrong with whey protein. It just digests a little bit quicker. And me personally, I haven't been using whey protein as much, but you certainly can. It's super easy. You can just get a tub of it. You do get some trace proteins from beans, from lentils, also fish, other animal sources such as bison, lamb, pork, whole foods from nature, animals. Okay. And same with carbs, fruits, vegetables. Okay. So when it comes to good carbohydrate sources, we're talking about oats, we're talking about rice, we're talking about potatoes, all different types of rice, all different types of potatoes, white potatoes, red, sweet potatoes, and then fruits, all different types of fruits. Nothing's really off limits. It's all up to you. But a good balance of those carbohydrate sources really help your body run like an absolute machine, especially when you're training hard in the gym. I believe that you need an adequate amount of carbs, the right carbs, to help fuel you up. And then the majority of your fats are going to come from your protein sources like eggs, like beef, and maybe from some of the dairy that you're taking in. I also use a lot of butter or extra virgin olive oil. You can also use ghee, coconut oil. I do tend to stray away from the seed oils. I don't feel as good when I have them. And I know there's a laundry list of studies showing that they're linked to inflammation and just bad sources. So I stay away from that. But the beauty of this is when you're eating in a calorie deficit and you're eating a balanced diet of proteins, fats, and carbs, you're going to feel full most of the time, and you're going to feel really good. And your training in the gym is going to improve once your diet improves. But that is the foundation for things to really be dialed. Once you dial in your diet, it's so much easier, okay? And the other benefit of the whole foods too is it's much easier to track. If you track the raw weight of that food, it is so much easier to track, to build out your meal plan and just make it automatic for yourself. The majority of people who get and stay lean, they pick a rotation of their 3 to 5 favorite meals. They're their go-tos. It just makes it so much easier, especially as a busy guy who is working, who might have a family. It just makes it so much easier if you can keep your meals consistent, okay? And within the diet as well, I think I forgot to mention vegetables, but vegetables are super important. Not only you're getting the vitamins and nutrients in there, but you're also getting fiber. It helps your digestive system running smoothly. I also like to have fermented foods like pickles, sauerkraut, helps the gut, helps the digestion system running smoothly. I could talk for hours about diet and how important it is, but that's really the overview. When we're talking about a good macronutrient ratio, we want to make sure that we're having enough protein in the diet. Okay, so about a pound or about a gram of protein per pound of body weight or per pound of lean body weight. A lot of guys are overeating protein. You don't actually need as much as you think. I've done super high protein diets, and sure, it can work, but you end up sacrificing calories from carbs and fats instead. So I like to have a nice balance. 40% of my calories are coming from carbs, 30% from protein, and 30% from fat. It's a very simple method to dice it up. You can do the math on it. Pretty simple. Those are percentages of your total caloric intake. And in order to find your cutting calories, take your current body weight, multiply that by 12, and that is going to be your starting cutting calories, okay? Weigh yourself for a whole week or two and keep your diet consistent and see if your weight progresses. If it progresses and you're seeing it go down on the scale, perfect. You're on the right track. But if it's dropping too fast, like if you lost like 8 pounds in a week, you could ramp up those calories to, you don't want to go too extreme with it, because that ends up you burning out and you binge on the weekends. We don't want that. We want to be realistic, aim to lose anywhere between 1 to 2 pounds a week, 2 on the high end. You can lose more, especially at the beginning. A lot of your weight is going to be water weight. You're holding on to just water, and you might have some excess food in your digestive system. But that's really the goal, is 1 to 2 pounds per week. Okay. So that is a little bit about the nutrition. I might have talked a little bit too long about that. And then it comes to your training in the gym. Okay. So to see really good results training, lifting weights, we must be lifting weights, especially as a natural lifter. We must be lifting weights even when you're trying to lose body fat, like you are trying to build muscle, okay? Because there are cases of people losing body fat and building muscle at the same time, especially if you haven't been consistent in the gym. There's so many cases of it too. So that's why it's important to kind of see your progress along the way with pictures. The weight on the scale does not always tell the story, because remember, we are just trying to lose body fat here. That's what chisels you up. That's what makes the abs nice and tight. The veins start to pop out. Shoulders start to get wide. Upper chest is flaring. Striations everywhere. You got veins in your calves. Things start popping. Okay. So with your training, your best success is at a bare minimum lifting weights 3 times a week. You can do a push-pull leg split 3 times a week. I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week of lifting weights, heavy, pushing it, okay, close to failure, trying to build muscle, okay, good rep ranges, good sets, 3 to 5 times a week of lifting. I think any more than that, it starts to get, training doesn't be as fun. And I know you're limited on time, especially if you have a family. So lifting in the gym, push-pull legs is an option. Chest, you could do a bro split, like a 5 day a week split where you're hitting chest one day, you're hitting back another, legs, arms, shoulders. I'm running that split right now, just mastering the body. I think that's a great split. You could run a 4 day split where you're doing maybe chest and shoulders, like a push day, and then a back traps day, and then a leg day, and then an arm day. I do like an arm day thrown in the mix. I think it helps the body recover. It's a fun day in the gym. It's kind of nostalgic too, because like you kind of remember like back in the day, Fridays was arms. You'd hit a nice pump before going out. But now you kind of just do it for yourself and for your family. Like you used to do it to go out and show off the guns. But now it's just like, it's nostalgic. Okay. Same with like benching. I got a bench behind me. This is my basement. I got equipment down here. I built my own gym. Because I don't like most gyms. Although I do have some gym memberships. I still like to go to some gyms for the variety of equipment. But I do recommend having some equipment at home. And if you are really crunched on time, you could still make some great progress physically from lifting or from body weight movements, push-ups, squats, pull-ups. If you have a pull-up bar, you can do some body weight rows as well, or some dips. Like I have some dip bars over here. Don't sleep on the body weight movements. If you're stretched on time and instead of skipping, like say you can't make it to the gym, you don't have time. You're working, you're taking care of your kids, drop and do 100 push-ups and 100 body weight squats. You will be gassed after. Okay. You'd be surprised on the type of stimulation that you can get from body weight. There's many guys that are on YouTube. I've watched these guys. They're pure body weight and their physiques are incredible. Okay. They're stimulating their muscles essentially, and then they're keeping their diet in check. So like I said, the diet is key. So on to our next topic. I have baby Mia down here. She just woke up from her nap. Let me see if I can put her binky back in so she can get back to napping. I got to make a video. I'm making a video. You're doing good though. There you go. There's your binky. Okay. Binky is secured in the mouth. She's in this little swing. It's kind of funny watching her. She's got a front row seat. But so the next thing that really must be dialed in is the mindset. Okay. And this was the hardest part for me. And it took me 10 years to really lock it in, because I've been in shape in the past, right? I've been lean. I've had the abs popping, and this might be you as well. But I think the reason I wasn't able to stay in shape in the past is because I didn't change who I was yet. I was still kind of holding on to these bad habits. I was still drinking a lot, partying. I like to eat. I'm a big eater. Okay. That's why the whole food diet has been such a game changer for me. Is it keeps me full. I'm a big eater. I want to feel full. But the mindset is you need to adopt this mindset of, this is just who I am now. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm trying to get into shape, I'm trying to eat better, you tell yourself, I am eating better. This is who I am now. This isn't a diet. This is just how I eat now. It's actually way more normal to eat this way instead of eating the crap in a box like Pop-Tarts, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Oreos, Doritos. Like that's not even food. You just wait. When you start eating this way and you start bringing some meal prep to work, or you start skipping out on things, people are going to be like, what's that? What are you doing? Someone's on a diet? And it's like, dude, fuck off. Like they're coping. Okay. It's a cope. Everyone wants to kind of bring you back when they see you leveling up. They want to bring you back down to their level because it makes them feel better about themselves. Hate usually comes from people below you doing worse than you. So when people start seeing your physical changes, be cautious. You're going to start to, get questioned, and be ready. This is just who I am now. Sorry. That's how it is. But stepping into this new person, this new identity, James Clear in Atomic, what is it? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People talks about this. He says, you want to step into these identity-based behaviors. Okay, so if you're trying to get into shape, what does a person that's in shape do? Well, they work out, they eat healthy, they sleep right, they hydrate, they don't drink. It's actually, it's more about what you don't do. So you might not binge drink on the weekends anymore. You might not have those pizza and wings on a weekly basis. Sure, you can still have that stuff, but to see those real changes, you're going to be much better off staying absolutely dialed in 90 to 95% of the time. And since you are so dialed in 90 to 95% of the time, then you can eat whatever you want since you're so dialed, but you must earn it. That is what I believe. Okay, you must earn that little treat. It makes it feel better. Okay, instead of just cramming down ice cream every night, like, dude, did you really deserve that? Or are you just like, are you trying to escape something and feel something quick? Delay that gratification and build that real discipline. Build that discipline. And once you start to build this momentum, it shows up other places. It shows up in your work. It shows up with your family. Okay. From this mindset, all right, we need to make this new person, this new version of you. We need to dial it in and make it so easy that it's almost impossible to fail. Hold on. The binky fell out again. There you go. There you go. All right. So we need to make this so easy and set it up so it's impossible to fail, because you more than likely know what to do already. Okay, but you need to make it automatic. You need to make the progress automatic. I like to call this the clockwork method. What the clockwork method is making it so easy that it's almost impossible to fail. So making it so easy that it's almost impossible to fail. So whether you're working out 3, 4, 5 times a week, following an actual plan with each workout, each exercise that you're doing, the sets, the reps, in front of your face, on your phone, print it out, whatever you want to do, making it clockwork, picking a day that you're going to do that workout, that's what makes it automatic, okay, with the training. So you get to the gym and you maximize your time and make it super duper efficient. And then you have a few days structured in there for backup. If you miss one day, you can catch up over here. Okay. That's the clockwork method. Same with the diet. Creating a structured type of meal plan where you might be eating the same types of foods for breakfast, for lunch. Maybe you're having a shake. Keeping it super consistent with the calorie deficit built in. And then you leave maybe a little bit more variety for dinner that you're cooking with your family. I know. Daddy's almost done. I'm almost done. There you go. Okay. Yes. So clockwork. All right, making it clockwork. And eventually it's going to be so much easier too with this method. It's easier to shop. Say you're eating, if you do a meal plan, like for me, I'm eating anywhere from 5 to 6 eggs a day. I'm eating a serving of Greek yogurt. I might have a protein shake, and then I'm having a pound of animal meats. And I'm essentially hitting my protein like that. All right. And then we backfill the rest in with carbohydrates, whether it's rice or potatoes. Rice, you can get the little microwavable rice cups too. I do that a lot. It's just easier. Okay. But you can throw in some potatoes as well. Maybe some toast, some sourdough bread, maybe some oatmeal. Okay. I know. It's okay, baby. Yeah. But making it clockwork, okay? Eventually, you don't want to play all your cards at once too when you're trying to lose body fat. So that's why we want to keep those calories as high as possible and not throw everything at you at once. We want to see steady, consistent progress over time, because say you have 20 to 30 pounds of fat to lose, that might take you anywhere from 12 to 16 weeks to do it properly, okay? We don't want to lose muscle in this process. You've seen someone who's like, yeah, I've lost 50 pounds, and they just look like a smaller version of themselves. They call that skinny fat. I don't think you want to be skinny fat. You want to hold on to that muscle as best as possible. That's why we're training hard. We're eating enough protein, and we're optimizing our sleep too. That's another part of the clockwork method, is keeping a schedule. Everything falls into place when you're sleeping right. You have the same time that you're training. I'm telling you, the people that are in the best shape at the gym are the ones who are training at the same time every day. They just have their time. That's when they go. Okay. Now, lastly, like I was saying earlier, when you start to make these changes in your real life, not many people are going to be supporting you along the way. So it's important to get involved in a community of people who are going to be leveling up alongside with you. So that is why I created a school group. It's a community where you can see the link down below, where it's a group of like-minded people working together. I have some example training programs in there. I have some nutrition guides in there, and you get some direct access to me. You get to meet some other like-minded people as well. Alongside that, too, is I also offer coaching. I have been coached multiple times in the past from some of the top natural bodybuilders in the space. I've learned a lot from those coaching programs. So I offer coaching as well to be one-to-one. Sometimes there's questions that come up, if you travel a lot or maybe your fat loss stalls. A coach is good to be in your corner to push you a little bit more, make some necessary changes to make it as easy as possible for you, help you reach your goals better. So that's the whole system here of how to truly get into shape. And now once you get into shape, you kind of just ramp up your calories a little bit more, because the goal is to not have to meticulously track your macros all the time. The goal is to start to begin to eat intuitively with your diet. You can eat out with this. You can go to steakhouses. You can even make it work at Chipotle if you want, or at big chains. That you can find ways and methods to make it work. But I think it's best to make it work by cooking your own food. Okay, it's so much easier. You're gonna save time and money doing it that way too, honestly, instead of going out. Like, sure, you can get results by going to Chipotle or whatever, but it's just easier, okay? Because you're busy. You got a full-time job, more than likely. You have a family. It's just going to make it so much easier. Progress, once you're dialed in with that diet, progress starts to flow, okay? The weight starts to drop. The training starts to feel really good. You start to sleep better with the food too, the beef, the eggs, your hormones, your energy. You start to feel better. Strength, vitality. You're ready to rock and roll. You show up on fire everywhere. Like, it is, I just want to share this with you because it's been such a big thing for me. Because there's been times I wasn't even able to get out of bed. I felt like ass, depressed, anxious. This has changed my life, and I want this to change yours as well. So check out the links below. Join the community to check out some of the example training programs, shopping lists, nutrition guides. I want to help you and be a resource for you. Send me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions, and if you'd like to be coached one-to-one by me. Send me a message. Would love to help. Comment below any questions that you have, and let me know what you think about this video. I'll be looking through the comments, and maybe I'll pull one of those questions and I can make a video on it. So I'm really trying to get you involved, because it's, at the end of the day, it's about you. Okay, it's not about me. I want to help you. So comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Check out my Instagram. Send me a DM on there if you'd like to chat a little bit more. And thanks for watching. Peace.